Hey, so I'm back in the library right now. And this is in the city of C for Charlie. And they actually have, it's a small pond. Whenever I found out, was a couple weeks ago that someone went fishing, I was like, oh, it must be a lake back there. No, it's a pond. It's just a pond. So, yeah, and then it sort of ends right over there. Because, yeah. I was going to read a little bit of this. By the way, I'm very sleepy. Earlier I tried to sleep 7, 8 a.m., 9 a.m. And it was so humid. I was like, I can't sleep. So I was like, oh well, I can't do much about this. So anyways, the back of the library, by the way, there's no one. For a few rows. All the way up there's it's probably a good 10 rows or so. There's a few tables with computers. So yeah. Oh wait, I do have something better. I am so glad I got this. I forgot it was an event. Oh yeah, I also got a couple of audiobooks. So the Amazing Love by Corey ten Boom, that was 25 cents. And then I got this and another audiobook for $1. Because I'm like, I will listen to audiobooks. It's going to take me long, but I'll listen to them. At first I need to write 1,000,000 times in my diary, because right now my thoughts are overwhelming and I can't focus on the audiobooks at all. So I'm just okay, I need to write first, including of how to handle my mom. So here we go. And the emotions dealing with my sibling. I'm still I explained to someone recently that basically one of the reasons why my sister does not talk to me, and just one of them, so it's a accumulation of a lot of stuff, is basically because I got the attention growing up. People knew who I was at the church, and they did not know who my sister was. And so she ended up becoming jealous because of that. I'm looking up. She ended up becoming jealous because of the attention that I got, and basically that they knew her as literally my name, sister. So she became jealous, I guess because she didn't have her own identity or whatever. So there was that. And then what was another thing? So it led to the point where I remember it was on the bridal shower. So my aunt went to add, hey, another Star Wars book, The Courtship of Princess Leia. I thought she got married. So anyways, or it could, I don't know. So anyways, I basically explained to them that I went to add, and we were at the bridal shower, so it was basically a luncheon, or a bridal luncheon, whichever one. And we sat down and we started, I started talking to them and such. And then after we were done, my sister starts just crying to her future mother-in-law, that basically I was talking to her friends and such, and it was general conversation. I was talking strictly to the ones that were close by me, and I'm okay, I'm thinking you're 22, I think it was 22 years old, and you're about to get married, and you're upset over the fact that I am talking to your bridesmaids. So, yeah, and in that case, she considers it trauma, but I'm just you have got to let that go. It is not that big of a deal. I was and yeah, some people's feelings might be hurt, but it's you have got to be kidding me. like, she's jealous over the fact that, thinking about now, it's like she's jealous over the fact that I started talking to her friends. And yeah, I'm just like, we've got to let that go someday. So yeah, how I feel about seeing her again, especially if she still has that kind of attitude, I don't know. So yeah. Anyways, so I did end up buying this. It's originally $1.25. So it was released in, or copyright 1953. So yeah, Amazing Love by Corrie ten Boom. And again, she's the lady that, yeah. So I know, like, before I'm like, I'm so heartbroken, and now I'm just like, to complete my thought, I'm like, just like, you know what? It doesn't matter as much, especially if it's like she's becoming jealous, or she became jealous over that, and it's like, okay, so yeah. And it's like we're sitting down eating, and so yeah, I guess in a way, as horrible as this sounds, I guess in a way it's better, because especially if she has wounds that a lot of people would consider shallow, but at the same time, we didn't really go out and do stuff. We didn't experience life, basically. And so, like, I imagine she's still, like, hurt by that, by the fact that people didn't actually know her name. And I talked with her friends. So, yeah. Anyways, so the book, Amazing Love by Corrie ten Boom. So the story, and this is chapter 2 on forgiveness. And when ye stand praying, forgive if ye have aught any against any. KJV, sorry. That your Father also which is in heaven may forgive you your trespasses. Mark 11:25. Why should we hold on to the sins of others while our own sins have been cast into the depths of the sea? Basically, we need to go ahead and forgive people their sins, so that God can also forgive us our sins. And there's someone over there. Okay, so I'm going to continue on this as quietly as possible. I was a guest on one of the farms on the vast prairies of Kansas. How far the horizon stretched out on every hand, and how clear the air. We Hollanders are accustomed to a shading of color and line in our landscape due to the atmosphere. But here everything is clearly, visible at 300 yards or more. So, yay, Kansas. That's very true. And seems close by. When the sun sets, the shadows fall stark and clear from barn, cows, and even the tasseled corn. The family with which I was staying was a large one, and I always have an especially good time when I am taken right into the life of a typical American family. The youngest daughter here was just finishing high school, and all of us planned to attend the graduation exercises the following week. All of us? Something was threatening to mar the joy of that happy occasion. For months past, there had been dissension between the father and his eldest son. In a fit of anger, the father had shown his son the door and forbidden him ever to cross its threshold again. The mother told me the whole story in confidence. For her, the graduation festivities would be no joy. My boy has a farm not far from here, said she, but I'm sure he will not want to come. We prayed together about it, and then I waited for the opportunity I knew God would prepare for me. I was having quite a few interesting experiences on the farm. I had helped drive the tractor, And although the farmer stood behind me, I was still proud of having finished the corners so neatly. I get it. I get it. It's like, oh my. It's my first time completing it, and I did it like perfectly. Well, not quite perfectly, but you know. Okay, I'm gonna look at that because I'm really curious what some of those books are. Some of these are Star Wars, by the way. I think they're arranged by author. So, like, there's some Star Wars books that are written by one person, and then some Star Wars books that are written by others. So, as you more than likely know, I see romance. Where's that? There it is. Bottom. Okay. I was having quite a few interesting experiences on the farm. I had helped drive the tractor, and although the farmer stood behind me, proud of finishing the corner so neatly. One afternoon, I went riding. The whole family stood watching as I mounted. The horse was being difficult. Okay. And ignoring the reins entirely, walked over to the watering trough. I don't know. It's spelled Trough. I don't know how it's pronounced. Trough. Watering trough. Began to drink and then put his feet into the trough. I had all I could do to keep from pitching forward over his head. Finally, with the efforts of all, the horse was led to the road, but I had to take a lot of bantering advice and laughter about my first riding lesson. Once on the road, however, everything was fine. The horse was walking quietly now. The whole prairie lay stretched out before me. I inhaled deeply the pure air. The corn rustled, and the wind played with my hair. What a delight it is to look out over the world from the back of a horse. Then the farmer rode up alongside of me, and before I knew it, there it was, the opportunity for which we had prayed. Have you ever prayed, "Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors"? I asked him. Do you know what has become of your sins? If you believe in Jesus Christ and belong to Him, they have been cast into the depths of the sea, and that's very deep. But then He expects also that you will forgive the sins of your boy and cast them into the depths of the sea. Just imagine how you would feel if there should be another war, if your son had to go back into service and was killed in action. Don't you think you should forgive him right now? The love which God has for you in Christ Jesus is the same love that He will pour out into your heart through His Spirit. If you open your heart to receive it, then His love will become your love, and His forgiveness your forgiveness. All through the conversation, I continued praying that the demon of bitterness would not win the conflict going on in the heart of the farmer. After we had been riding for some time in silence, he said suddenly, "I'm going to see my son tonight. Will you go with me?" And so we did. The old man was a bit uncomfortable as he stepped into the house. The son looked up in surprise. Then the father put his hand on the shoulder of the young man and said, "Was I hearing correctly? My boy, will you forgive me?" I turned and walked quickly around to the other side of the house, but I could still hear the son's reply, "But Father, I should ask you for forgiveness." The graduation party was a great success. So yeah, I thought it was really sweet and cute, and oh my goodness, Oh, I'm sorry. So in this, actually, Coreytown Boom, she was accidentally released from a concentration camp. Here's part of it. So, unfortunately, yeah. So Bep was actually Corey's sister, and it says Bep's eyes did not see the dirty throng around us. She was gazing into the future, and a glow of happiness brightened her emaciated face. 3 days later, she passed away, and 10 days later, just 1 week before, all women of my age, and I think she was like in her 40s or 50s maybe, were killed. So 1 week before all women of my age were killed, I was released from the concentration camp. And before that, it says, this is the first chapter, plans. Human hearts are amazingly alike. The silence of night had fallen on 700 women, lying tightly packed together, asleep in the barracks of a concentration camp. Bep, my sister, awakened me and repeated to me in a whisper what God had told her about the work that would be waiting for us after our release. We must open a home for people who have suffered so much here and in other places where life has been completely disrupted by war. But the most important part of our task will be to tell everyone who will listen that Jesus is the only answer to the problems that are disturbing the hearts of men and of all nations. Oh, okay. To the problems that are disturbing the hearts of men and of nations. We shall have the right to speak because we can tell from our experience that his light is more powerful than the deepest darkness. This is during the concentration days, so yeah. Surely nothing could be darker than our experiences here. I keep telling myself things cannot possibly grow worse, but every day we see that misery only deepens. How wonderful that the reality of his presence is greater than the reality of the hell about us. We shall have to do a lot of traveling, but we must never spend our energies in collecting funds. God will provide everything we need. Money, health, wisdom, and the necessary languages. All of our efforts must go into bringing the gospel, for we shall have many opportunities. So yeah. And from what I understand, she ended up traveling literally around the world. And then also, she had a companion. And what I mean by companion is like a female traveling with her and keeping her company, which I think is so helpful because we're not meant to be alone. So, alright, so I am books because some of them, that's, no, okay. Night Train, the third links. Survivor's Quest. Blue people from Star Trek. What's that Star Trek? I forget what it's called. It's the one that came out. Oh, right. Luke got married. I remember my dad would finish like books in like 2-3 days, I think, or maybe a week. Survivor's Quest Dark Force Rising, Volume 2 of a 3-book cycle. Outbound Flight, Heir to the Empire. I guess Timothy's on this, like, the domino pattern. This is Odd Girl Out. Hey, they have, the shack. Okay, and another shack. So this one and this one. And then up here, they have Swiss Family Robinson and Robinson Crusoe. So, yeah. Oh. Let's see, what else do they have? This one is called Cherish. They have designs on it. Oh, it's vampires and dragons. I mean, some people are into that. Go you. Thomas Wolfe, Look Homeward Angel. Come on, get in. Okay, I'm gonna put this down. Courtship of Princess Leia. Yeah, so basically what is this at? In order to gain money, an alliance has decided to try and be set up between Leia and this lady's son, and she's the queen of 63 high-tech worlds, and so basically it's about to happen, and then Han finds out and he's like, no, so he goes ahead and like, hey, why don't you join me on this trip? And then Luke and her fiance go ahead and go over to this world, and they find some people are trained in the Force, so yeah. But yeah. And then Han and Leia go ahead and get married. Spoiler alert. But I think we all know what happens with them, kind of. Okay, I'm doing this now again. But yeah, there's like, of course it's a library, so there's a book called Ground Zero. And it's a mystery. Oh. But it is 9/11 book, it looks like. So yeah, they have a few authors from this state. So yeah, and they have a few books with godfathers. So yeah. Anyways, I will talk to you later. Hope you have a great day. Oh my goodness, it's a Tesla truck. I will talk to you later. I hope that you have a great. I'm really curious about them now. Let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about, and yeah, I'll let's see. The library closes about 5, so I should do a video probably about 5 or so. Yeah, at that time, what I'm thinking about doing is eating a meal, because I've been eating sort of snacks-ish. Like eating small amounts at a time, basically. At that time, I'll go ahead and eat a meal. Hopefully, it won't be as humid, I'm hoping, fingers crossed. And then I'm gonna go, what I'm going to do is I'll go to Planet Fitness after this, because the library closes at 5. And then basically I'll go to Planet Fitness, probably take a shower, and then go ahead and work out for a little while reading and doing whatever else. So, because I definitely have enough books. So yeah. Yeah, so I'll do the next video about 5, and yeah, let me know if there's anything you want to talk about, and I'll be able to respond at that time, especially since I'm not working, so it makes things so much easier. Talk to you later. Bye.